Today we're doing 6.1 Law of Sines, Day 3, and we're going to be focusing on the application of the law of sines. So for our first example, we have a word problem, and it says, two fire lookout stations are 20 miles apart, with Station B directly east of Station A. Both stations spot a fire on a mountain to the north. The bearing from Station A to the fire is north 50 degrees east. The bearing from Station B to the fire is north 36 degrees west. How far to the nearest tenth of the mile is the fire from Station A? So first thing we need to do is create a picture. So first thing they tell us is that our two stations are 20 miles apart. And it tells us that Station B is to the east of A. So if you want to just do a quick recall, we have north, east, south, and west. And they're both looking out, and we're going to assume that our fire is right here. So that's going to close this in and create our triangle. So the next thing we need to figure out is the angles that are given. So it says the bearing from Station A to the fire is north 50 degrees east, and it says in parentheses 50 degrees east of the north. So remember, if I were to draw like a little origin here, 50 degrees off of the north going in the east direction would be that, which means the actual angle itself in the triangle is 40 degrees, because this right here would be a 90-degree angle. On the other side, it says the bearing from Station B to the fire is north 36 degrees west. So remember, we're going 36 degrees off of the north. So I need to do 90 minus 36 to find an actual angle of the triangle. So this will be 54 degrees. And we could call this spot C. So again, the ultimate question is how far to the nearest tenth of a mile is the fire from Station A. So I'm looking for this piece right here, which would be my little A. Notice at this point I don't have a pair of information, so the first thing I'd have to do is find angle C. So to do that, I would do 40 plus 54 plus C equals 180. Over here I'll get 94 plus C equals 180, and when I subtract 94 from both sides, we'll get 86 degrees. So I now know this angle is 86. So now we can use this information to actually solve the problem. Notice I have a pair, so I have my side and angle. So 20 over sine of 86 equals, and I don't need to find both sides because the question is clearly asking for Station A, and that's all I'm concerned about. So my A is what I don't know, but the corresponding angle for Station A is 40 degrees. And now we cross multiply like what we did the past few days. So I get A sine of 86 equals 20 sine of 40. And I divide both sides by sine of 86. So it's going to cancel over here. And my answer for A is going to be 16.2. Can't really see that. Here you go. 16.2. And the units in this problem is miles, so we would say miles is our final answer right here. So that is an example, again, of an application for these problems. So the next one we are going to do is two triangles overlapping within one. So if you need to take a moment and pause, you can to draw this picture. So we did problems like this before in chapter 4, I think, when we did right triangles, SOHCAHTOA. So notice you do see a right triangle in triangle ACD, but notice in this triangle ABC, I don't have a right triangle, so I'm going to have to use the law of sines. As far as strategy goes, notice that what I don't know is the piece connecting the two. I'm going to have to figure that segment out first. So in terms of the left triangle, or let's call it triangle 1 and triangle 2, in terms of the left triangle, triangle 1, I would want to find side A because that's going to be this piece that connects the two. So I need to do some scratch work. I don't know this top angle up here just yet, so I don't have a pair. And I also don't know this angle, so I need to figure that out. So let me just kind of draw this off to the side. So I know this angle is 43. And I know that this right here, this base of a triangle has 180 degrees in it. So I'm going to do 180 minus 67 to get that angle. So 180 minus 67 will give us 113. So I now know this angle right here is 113. And to find this angle up here, which would be my angle C, I would have to add these up and subtract from 180. So angle C is 24 degrees. So now to kind of go back to this problem in triangle 1, I now have a matching pair, so I can say 312 over sine of 24. And this is equal to A over sine of 43 degrees. So again, we'll cross multiply. I'm not going to write out all the steps because at this point we've been doing this for a few days now, so you should know how to do this calculation. So A is 523.1. Now, in terms of triangle number 2, that piece that joins these two triangles is called side D. So I'm going to use side D. So that's 523.1 over sine of 90 equals H over sine of 67. And the ultimate goal is to find H. That was the ultimate goal, if I didn't make that clear at the beginning. So again, I think we know how to do this calculation by now, so we're going to cross multiply to find what H equals. So H equals 481.5. And again, that was the ultimate goal. We just had to do some scratch work in order to obtain the value of H. So that's all for today in terms of the applications. We'll pick up with this tomorrow.